Have you ever wondered if a small memory mistake today could become a much bigger problem tomorrow? Many people ignore early warning signs because they seem harmless at first. They laugh about forgetting a name. They brush off losing their keys. They tell themselves it is just part of getting older. But sometimes, ignoring changes in memory or thinking can delay important conversations with family members and healthcare professionals. The goal is not fear. The goal is awareness. Because when changes are noticed early, people have more time to understand what may be happening and seek the right support. The surprising part is that many of the earliest signs do not look dramatic. They often appear in everyday life. They may come and go, they may seem small. That is why so many people miss them. In fact, some of the signs we will discuss today are ignored by thousands of older adults every day. Before we continue, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments. What is one thing you do every day to keep your mind active? Sign number 10. Frequently misplacing items. Everyone loses things from time to time, that is normal. But this sign is a little different. Imagine placing your house keys inside the refrigerator, putting your glasses in a kitchen drawer, or leaving your wallet in a place that makes no sense later. Then imagine this happening again and again. Many people dismiss these moments as simple forgetfulness, but when items are repeatedly placed in unusual locations and become difficult to find, it may be worth paying closer attention. The key word here is repeated. One unusual mistake does not automatically mean something is wrong. However, a pattern of similar mistakes deserves notice. Sign number 9. Forgetting recent conversations. Now let's move to another sign that many families notice before the person experiencing it does. Have you ever told someone the same information several times, only to realize they do not remember the conversation at all? Or perhaps someone asks the same question again and again, even though it was already answered a short time earlier. Occasional forgetfulness happens to everyone, but repeatedly forgetting recent conversations may be different. Some people remember events from many years ago very clearly while struggling to recall something discussed yesterday or even earlier that day. And here is what makes this interesting. The next sign often appears during everyday activities that most people perform without thinking. Because it seems so ordinary, many people ignore it for years before realizing it may be important. Sign number 8. Difficulty. Following familiar instructions, many people expect memory changes to start with forgetting names or losing items, but sometimes the signs appear in a completely different way. Think about a task you have done for years. Maybe it is cooking a favorite meal, paying monthly bills, or following a routine you have known for a long time. Most people can do these things almost without thinking. But for some individuals, familiar steps may suddenly start feeling confusing. For example, someone may forget where they are in a recipe they have made for years. They may skip important steps or become frustrated while trying to complete a simple task. At first it may seem like a bad day or a simple mistake, but when it happens repeatedly, it becomes harder to ignore. The reason this sign is often missed is because people usually find excuses for it. They blame stress, being busy, or not paying attention, and sometimes that is true. But when the same type of confusion keeps appearing, it may deserve closer attention. Sign number 7. Becoming confused about time. Now let's talk about another sign that many families notice. Have you ever forgotten what day it was? Most people have. But this sign goes beyond that. Some people may lose track of dates more often. They may forget appointments, become confused about upcoming events, or struggle to remember how much time has passed. Sometimes they may feel unsure about whether something happened yesterday, last week, or even last month. Because life can be busy, many people brush this off as normal forgetfulness. But repeated confusion about time can sometimes be an important warning sign. Sign number 6. Trouble finding the right words. This next sign often appears during normal conversations. Have you ever known exactly what you wanted to say but could not find the right word? Everyone experiences this occasionally. The difference is when it starts happening much more often. Some people may stop in the middle of a sentence because they cannot remember a simple word. Others may replace words with unusual descriptions. For example, instead of saying watch, they might say the thing that tells time. These moments can be frustrating because the person knows what they want to say but cannot express it easily. And here is something important. Many people dismiss these signs as normal aging, but the next signs on our list can start affecting relationships, daily routines, and even a person's confidence. That is why they are often much harder for families to ignore. Sign number 5. Changes in judgment and decision-making. Imagine receiving a phone call from a stranger asking for money. Most people would immediately be suspicious. But sometimes one of the early signs that families notice is a change in judgment. A person who was once very careful with money may suddenly make unusual financial decisions. They may trust strangers too easily, fall for scams, or make choices that seem very different from their normal behavior. The reason this sign is often missed is because people usually assume it was just one bad decision. But when unusual choices start happening again and again, family members often become concerned. Sign number 4. Pulling away from social activities. Now let's look at a sign that can be easy to overlook. Many people enjoy spending time with friends, family, and hobbies. But sometimes a person begins avoiding social situations they once enjoyed. They may stop attending gatherings, lose interest in favorite activities, or prefer spending more time alone. At first, this may seem like a simple lifestyle change, but in some cases, people withdraw because conversations, remembering details, or following discussions have become more difficult than before. This change often happens slowly, which is why many families do not notice it right away. Sign number 3. Trouble completing familiar daily tasks. This next sign can be especially frustrating. Tasks that once felt simple may suddenly feel confusing. A person may struggle with using a familiar appliance, managing bills, following a routine, or completing everyday activities they have done for years. The important thing is that these are not new tasks. They are familiar tasks that once felt easy. Many people explain these moments away and convince themselves everything is fine. But when several of these signs start appearing together, they become much harder to ignore. And now we are approaching the 2 signs that many families find the most noticeable. These final signs are often mistaken for stress, tiredness, or normal aging at first, but they are also the signs that most often convince families to seek answers and support. Sign number 2. Noticeable changes in mood or personality. Now let's talk about a sign that often surprises family members the most. Many people expect memory changes to be the first thing they notice. But sometimes the earliest changes appear in a person's mood or personality instead. A person who was once calm and patient may become more easily frustrated. Someone who was always confident may suddenly seem anxious or worried. Others may become suspicious of people around them or react differently to situations that never bothered them before. Of course, everyone has bad days. Stress, poor sleep, and health problems can affect mood. The difference is when these changes become noticeable and continue over time. Family members are often the first to recognize this sign because they know the person's usual personality so well. Sign number 1. Memory problems that affect daily life. And now we come to the sign most people think about when they hear the word dementia. Forgetting names once in a while is normal. Missing an appointment occasionally can happen to anyone. But this sign goes beyond everyday forgetfulness. It may involve repeatedly asking the same questions, forgetting important events, relying heavily on reminders for basic tasks, or having difficulty remembering information that was recently learned. The key difference is that these memory changes begin affecting everyday life. Simple activities may become more difficult, and family members may start noticing a pattern. It is important to remember that these signs do not automatically mean someone has dementia. Many health conditions, medications, sleep problems, stress, and other factors can cause similar symptoms. That is why professional evaluation is so important. This video is for educational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare provider for medical advice. Now tell me in the comments, which sign on today's list surprised you the most? If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more simple health information designed for older adults. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay active, and take good care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.